doesn't.
So if I hear you correctly, what we're doing is saying we won't spend 1.5, but we would be willing, because we've had a prior motion, that we would be willing to spend 1 million. Is that?
Yes.
I know that that's not the motion. Your motion is...
Correct, with the removal of the wings as previously stated.
Yeah.
We'll go back to our original motion.
Okay, I just need to know, so that the $1 million would be no wings, but the demolition of that would have to be included in the $1 million, right?
Correct, that's what we had done previously.
The motion says to retain the core of the old nursing home with a cost not to exceed $1 million.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Representative McCarthy and then Fleck.
I think Representative Umberger just covered what I wanted to say. We really didn't approve $1 million. What we approved was to maintain, to keep the core at not more than $1 million. So there's a big difference of saying, yes, we're going to spend $1 million, or we will not spend more than $1 million.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Representative Fleck.
I guess I'm somewhat confused about this motion because it's a negative type motion, and I don't mean that in a judgmental way, but it's a motion not to do something, and I guess I'm concerned, and I'm also concerned about the relationship of this motion to the previous motion. Does this mean that we're tied to, we will consider only the core, we will not demolish the wings? Because that seems to me to be where we're getting a lot of cost. No matter how we do it, a lot of the cost is coming out of the demolition work and the necessary refitting that has to be done. So I'm just a little bit concerned about the impact of this. I would agree with you that we don't want to spend $1.5 million. You know, but at the same time, I'm somewhat confused about the relationship of this motion to the other motion. It's almost perhaps worth taking the other motion up at some point and then seeing how we want to adjust that motion. So that's all I have to say on it.
Okay. Representative Umberger.
You could make it a positive motion that says the delegation approves the bid of $1.5 million submitted by Bonnet, Page and Stone, and we vote no. I mean, if that makes Representative Fleck happier, we can do that. It's
but the consequence, if we, and what I want to do is, what do we do after we say no to $1 million? Do we send the commissioners back to the drawing board to come up with a plan for $1 million, or do we just leave the issue here and not do anything? I don't know what to do. What would you think? Where would you be going if we, positive or negative, said $1 million is it? Whether we vote that or not, I just need to know.
Thank you. I am in favor of amending the motion as stated by Representative Umberger. So it would be a clean motion that enter it in and then take a vote and see where the vote falls, if it falls. But we're going back to my understanding of where we were before. We approved up to $1 million to save the core building, as represented by Representative Umberger, but it was also to take down the other two wings, that we are preserving 15,000 square feet. And what I'm hearing from Representative Fleck is that then we might then be amending that to talk about keeping the wings. And we'd only gotten to this point. I believe we had only reached this point, was that the only thing we were considering was the core building itself.
And just because we vote this motion of yours doesn't mean you want to get rid of the core too, right?
No, I'm not looking to get rid of the core, unless that's the will of the delegation.
Unless that's the will of the delegation, and it's going to cost less than $1 million to do that. Okay, because if we vote no to the bid here of 1.5, can we ask the commissioners to go back to get something for up to $1 million that includes the removal of the wings? I just need to trust that we will go that far. in where I'm going. Representative Babson, a number.
Thank you. I just want to straighten one thing out. That bid, I believe, is for $1.2 million, is it not? And then I asked Randy about the additional charges for engineering, and he said it was another 15%. So it's roughly 1.5. So we keep talking about 1.5, and then someone's going to say, well, it's 15 more. It isn't. It's 1.2 plus 15%.
It's the, and I would, because I have not.
It's 1.3, 1.45.
And
Got all
we
the numbers
need
together.
to-
You
So,
and
so
we have to.
I asked him, it was almost $1.5 million, and he said.
And we have to do 15% contingency.
That would include the 15%.
Nope.
If you, somebody do a calculator. I don't know why we can't decide this. This is the hardest
460 and
decision we've ever
450.
made in 17 years.
You've got
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
I would suggest that it is not. I would suggest that if we were to take a motion to accept the bid of 1.5 and the roll call was to be against it, our previous motion would still stand. If the commissioners wanted to move forward and come up with a project that involved the core building, that did not involve wings, and could come in under $1 million, then you know, we don't need to direct them what to do. That's the motion that still stands. The confusion is not sitting here at this delegation as I see it. It's that we're not getting what we asked for and what we're told we're going to get going forward months at a time. And then we end up having to second guess what we've done. The confusion is, my opinion, is not sitting in this delegation.
Go ahead, Representative. Go ahead, Representative Alden.
Thank you, Madam Chair. But I would like to be clear, though, that the further motion would be that we want to plan, not to exceed $1 million for our approval, because that is what they would be directed to do. Not to just to spend $1 million and demolish what's there left, but they need to present us a plan for $1 million and upon which we would approve or disapprove. But the budget is $1 million,
Max.
not to exceed $1 million.
When I add up 425,400, 405,000,
452.4.
okay.
The renovation for
I'm going to do all of that, and I come out without the 15%. Wait a minute, Representative McCarthy, I'll be right there. I promise. When I come up and add those, it's $1,446,400. I have to add 15% onto that. How much is that? I don't know how to do percentages.
Oh, that's easy. It's 140 plus 70, 210,000.
So if that's right, all in all, this bid is $1,656,400. That encompasses everything. So that's so it's not 1.5, it's 1.6. Okay.
I don't think we need a dollar, excuse me, I don't think we need a dollar figure. What we need to say is that the delegation approves the submission made by Bonapage and Stone, whatever it is.
Well, I just wanted to know what it was. I'm tired of listening to everybody's number. That's only because of me. Representative McCarthy and then Flack.
Well, once again, I would like to just make certain that everybody understands, and we can look on the tapes to get the proof, that what the delegation voted on was to entertain a proposal not to exceed $1 million. The delegation did not vote to spend $1 million. They voted only to entertain a new proposal, and it included the core of the building only.
Representative Flack.
Again, going back to the Bonnet, Page, and Stone estimate last given to us, if you take that estimate, less the demolition of the core, less the demolition of the wings, you come up with a cost of $1,012,200. If you add the 15% to that, I believe you come up with $1,164,000. So the key here is whether or not we're going to take the demolition of the wings at $230,000 each, or each side. But we can get it down to the 1 million, a little over, plus the 15% brings us to 1,164,000. And I have to believe that with some sharpening of the pencil, we ought to be able to get down to the $1 million or less. But that doesn't take the wings down. And what I didn't want to happen personally was that we're tied to taking the wings down just to make sure that cost goes so high we have to tear the whole thing down. But
Okay.
that makes sense.
And that could be somebody's strategy. I have to believe, I have to trust that the delegation, that we have been working together for all of these years, we don't want the 1.656,400. We don't want that. That's too much to spend. And so I think that what we need to do is to say, let's say no to the 1.656,400. We know we don't want to spend that. All of us know that. And now we have to trust each other that we'll vote this way and that we will figure out something else. Because I don't want this vote to say, extension, you're staying in Conway. We're going to tear everything down and nobody's going to do anything with it, with the cores. And so let's take the motion, and we can do, the motion that's on the floor is from Representative McConkey saying that the delegation does not approve the, and I'm going to add the 1.656,400 estimate quote from Bonnet, Page and Stone dated November 2nd, 2011. We do not approve that, with the second by Representative McConkey, well, Representative Umberger. All right? Are we all set on that? Now what I'll do is take the vote. And we'll do a negative vote, and that's what it is. Representative Algren, we do not approve. If you do not approve, you vote yes. If you want to approve, you vote no.
Okay. So if I don't want it, I say yes. Correct, Madam Chair? Sorry, a parliamentary inquiry.
If you would vote yes because this is not to approve.
Okay, so we didn't change the,
No, we did not
Okay.
switch it on.
so I vote yes, I do not approve.
Okay. Representative Babson,
Yes.
you do not approve. Representative Fleck,
Yes.
you do not approve. Representative McCarthy,
Yes.
yes. Representative McConkey,
Yes.
yes. Representative Patton votes yes, I do not approve. Representative Pettingill,
Yes.
yes, you do not approve. And Representative Umberger, no, Representative Treganza,
Yes.
yes, you do not approve. Representative Umberger,
Yes.
yes. All right, we did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 to nothing. We don't like 1.6. So, what do we do? Huh?
If I would, Madam Chairman, it would seem to me that our previous motion, and perhaps I would like to restate, but our previous motion is that the delegation is not in favor, I'm not making this motion, but it still stands that we would not approve any expenditure for more than $1 million that involved anything other than the core structure. So what we had said before is still a viable option to the commissioners.
So to the commissioners, I want to say to you that we have finally got to say we don't like what Bonnet, Page and Stone said on the 2nd.
Yep.
It's too expensive. We don't want that
I agree.
1.6. We will, if you want to, we need to vote to say not to exceed $1 million. That includes the core, but also includes taking the wings down. Let me just see if Commissioner Sorensen understands what I said.
I have a problem with that. I'm not sure. Maybe I asked for clarification. If we're taking the wings down, it's going to cost us $460,000. That's going to come out of the $1 million.
That's correct.
Doesn't leave much for roof or renovating.